All right, everyone. Welcome to the Practical Money Podcast here with Justin Martin and Krista Young. We're excited that you're here with us today. It is the end of the year. We are just rounding the corner from Thanksgiving, heading into the holiday season here, and it's an exciting time. Here in Utah, we got pounded with a snowstorm today. The kids started the school late. They had late start. My kids were freaking out this morning. They were so excited out there rolling around in the snow. It's fun. Time to get out there and go snow skiing. And Krista, you were out climbing frozen water.
I went ice climbing over the weekend. It's that time of year. Get up on the mountain.
If you guys want to see some crazy pictures, stalk Krista Young out on Facebook. She has got some crazy ice picking pictures on her Strava, on her Facebook. I mean, she's wild. I love it.
We're safe. We're not. I'm
safe.
not going to die, but
just don't apply for life insurance right now. Wait until the ice picking season's over. Right?
That's the plan.
Well, Krista, I'm excited that we're having this conversation today. You know, as you and I have been analyzing our portfolios and our investments and the wealth management that we've been doing this year, it really has been a phenomenal year for us. For our personal portfolios and the portfolios of our clients. Now, past doesn't predict the future, and we're not here making any guarantees like that or anything. But a lot of the strategies that we've been implementing this year, I don't feel like it's been luck. I think we've been very strategic in the way that we've been positioning ourselves with the crazy volatility going on, with inflation, with interest rates, with politics, with wars. I mean, there's just been a lot going on. And so the purpose of this podcast here today is more of what can we do in these last few weeks of the year to make sure we're hitting any of the end year investment and tax preparation that needs to happen. There are deadlines coming up. December 31st is a deadline that there are certain things that typically you should be doing before that deadline to make sure that you are positioned in a way so you're entering into the next year in a healthy way, as well as making sure that you're doing any significant tax planning that has to also happen before December 31st. So we want to walk you through 5 different questions that you should be asking yourself right now to make sure that you are positioned in a way that your end of year planning is set up appropriately. So Krista, do you want to take it away?
Yeah. So the first one we want to talk to you about is have you checked in with your CPA? We work in tandem with so many of our clients' CPAs. We are not here to replace CPAs. We are constantly consulting with them to make sure that we're doing the best thing for your portfolio on the investment side, but also for your portfolio on the tax strategy side. And like Justin was saying, December 31st is a deadline for a lot of tax advantage investments. So the number one thing you need to be doing, if you haven't already done, is set up time with your CPA, check in with them, because they're the ones who are going to let you know what your tax burden for this year was, meaning how much do you need to be looking to invest to possibly be able to take advantage of any tax credits that come along with certain investments. But then also if you're in the age bracket where you have to take required minimum distributions on certain accounts, you need to be checking with your CPA to figure out how much you need to be taking, and then how much you need to be maxing out with those retirement accounts. All of that comes from your CPA, and then we work in tandem with you and them to make sure that that's all taken care of. So when tax season comes around next year, you are sailing smoothly.
Yeah. And with that, with the CPAs, a lot of the information when it comes to like required minimum distributions and whatnot, make sure you are looking also at your brokerage house, or if you've got annuities that are IRA annuities, go to your insurance company, because a lot of times the brokerage house and the insurance companies will have those RMDs already calculated for you. If you don't take them, then you get hit with a 50% penalty. So just make sure that you are calculating that. Now, the other thing that I want to add with end of year tax planning here too, Krista, is for those people that have sold stocks this year and you had capital gains off of them, or you sold a business this year and have capital gains from that, there are strategies that you can utilize that can be very good from a capital gains deferral, and in a lot of cases, a capital gains forgiveness based upon what you're doing with those gains as you're exchanging them into other investments. So make sure you're visiting that conversation of capital gains with one of us before the end of the year. The other thing that I see a lot of my clients doing right now is also what's called a backdoor IRA conversion, where they're taking money from an old retirement plan or an IRA or something like that, and they're utilizing a backdoor conversion where they're able to convert a lot of that money into a Roth IRA. And we know a Roth IRA is kind of this tax-free bucket of money. Now, there's tax implications there. When you convert, you do have to pay income taxes during that conversion process, but there's things that you can do to mitigate that tax burden that comes as you're doing a conversion there. So again, backdoor IRA conversions, capital gain deferrals, like Krista was saying, tax deductions and credits. There are a lot of tax deductions and credits, especially within the energy industry. I know a lot of you have heard Krista and I talk a lot about investing in either oil or natural gas or other energy sources as a way to get some tax deductions. Those are still available through about mid-December. So let us know how we can assist you with that. With that, let's jump into the second question then here. And that is, have you had any life events this year? You know, has there been a baby that's been born? Have you gotten married? Have you been divorced? Have you moved? What kind of clerical updates need to be happening on your accounts, especially as we start moving into tax season where you're getting tax forms? Let's make sure we've got everything squared away with your accounts and with how everything is set up. If there's name changes that need to happen, if there's minor Roth IRAs that need to be set up on the kids, do we need to change beneficiaries on your account? If you don't have a living trust, a family trust set up, now is the time to get that set up. Go spend $1,000, meet with a local family attorney in the area and get your family trust set up. Okay. So there's different things like that when it comes to the life events that you just need to do a quick check-in to make sure that you are set up appropriately and that everything is lined up. I'll tell you, we've had a couple of issues recently with clients of ours that have passed away, and they were older folks and lived great lives. But the beneficiaries on their accounts hadn't been updated for quite a few years. And yes, we're slapping our hands a little bit for saying, well, shame on us. We should be updating that, but we want to make sure that you are aware that when a person does pass away, we've got to make sure the beneficiaries have already been updated, so money is dispersed appropriately and in a timely manner.
Yep, exactly. And then number 3. So this one is where Justin and I have been very hands-on this year, and we will continue to be hands-on in regards to your investments and how we're preparing for this upcoming recession. Now, whether you think the recession's already started or it's going to start middle of next year, it really doesn't matter. We're already making moves now to pursue recession resilient investments, to reallocate certain investments that you may be in and make sure that you are set up and well positioned for this upcoming recession. Certain recession resilient investments are things that deal with infrastructure or healthcare, consumer staples, things that people usually have to use regardless of what their income is looking like. So we're already adjusting things, we're already moving things around, and just taking a look at everybody's portfolio to make sure that you're in the best position we can put you in when things start to get a little bit rocky come next year.
Yeah, and I like that Krista uses the verbiage recession resistant or resilient, resilient. It's not that we're just taking everyone that's a higher risk client and moving them to conservative. That's not what we're doing. We're not just making those shifts, but we're really just looking at where is the appropriate place to be right now with where the economy is. Now, we know that inflation is high. So yes, we still want to make sure that we're achieving returns that are at least on pace with inflation. which is hard right now. I mean, we're at, depending on which state you live in, 8-9% inflation in some places. But there's going to be a lot of volatility that's going to happen within interest rates, inflation, marketplace type volatility that we just have to watch for. But like Krista is saying, there are some places that we know, historically speaking, have been more resilient during a recession. Now, we're not here economists predicting a recession. We might be strong enough as a nation and an economy that we don't go through that, but we want to make sure that we are prepared for it if it does come. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, number 4. Do you know if you have contributed enough to tax advantage investments this year to cover your tax burden? So this goes a little bit back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this conversation. And that is, where within your investment pool of money, are you investing in ways to also satisfy some of the tax burden that you have? Okay. Your investment strategies are only as good as also knowing what the tax ramifications are going to be of that strategy. So we want to make sure that as you're looking at your investment pool of money, that you are investing that money in a way that you understand that into the future, what is that going to do with your taxes? Maybe you're going to invest in a natural gas drilling well this year that's going to give you some deductions on that, tax deductions, and also is a great investment. Great. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about if that's appropriate for you and suitable for you to do right now. It might be, and you might be a high income earner this year that needs some more tax deductions. So great. Let's look at some natural gas. Let's look at some oil and see if those types of investments are appropriate for you from an investment standpoint, but also to give you some of that tax relief. Krista, do you have anything else that you want to add on that one?
No, I think you covered it. It is really important. So if you don't know what your tax burden was, that's kind of a red flag. You need to know what your tax burden was for this year. You need to talk to your CPA and then get in touch with us, and we can start moving pieces to make sure that we get the help that you need. So definitely look into that.
Yep. All right. The last one here. How is your emergency savings? Do you have enough emergency savings set aside? And by emergency money, this is cash that we want to make sure that you can get a hold of. It needs to be liquid type security somewhere. Maybe at your bank, maybe in a safety deposit box, maybe in a safety fire safe box in the back of your closet, whatever it may be. Do you have enough emergency savings? Now, what is emergency savings? It's going to be different for everyone. It depends on how stable of income you have. It depends on how your business is running, et cetera. Typically speaking, an emergency savings amount is 3 to 6 months worth of your fixed expenses. So if you look to see how much your mortgages, your day-to-day costs of living are, and accumulate all that together, how much do you need set aside as cash to make sure you've got 3 to 6 months worth of emergency savings set aside? We know that we're in this season, this holiday season of spending, where we really do want to emphasize this one right now to make sure that we remind ourselves to live within our means. Have a wonderful holiday season, absolutely. But gift giving and purchasing and spending, watch to see where you are. Do not turn a blind eye to your bank account and say, I'm going to solve the problem of credit cards and bank accounts next year. Watch where you are right now and make sure that you're keeping yourself in check. With this emergency savings, here's the other thing that also is going to happen. Everyone here has heard the adage before, cash is king. I think it was Robert Kiyosaki that coined that phrase, cash is king. As we start to look into this next year, there will be some pretty incredible opportunities coming up. And opportunities, if it's a great opportunity, they get snagged up really quickly. So we want to make sure you also have cash available and ready to go. So when the opportunities do arise, you can jump right in, because they will be there. We've already seen quite a few incredible opportunities over the last 6 to 9 months here with our clients and within our own personal portfolios. And we continue to see more of those coming through the pipeline here in the near future. Okay, so there's your five questions. We're going to be sending this out to you we're going to post it onto our website, but we're also, those that are a part of our distribution email list, we're going to send this brief podcast out to you. And inside of that email, we're going to list these 5 questions. Please take a look at those. Please just do a quick 10-minute check-in with yourself to make sure that you can answer those 5 questions. And then at the bottom of our email, there's a place for you to connect with us if we do need to set up an appointment. Let's do an end of year check-in if you need to. For sure, in January, February, we want to start doing annual planning for next year, and we'll give more information as we go along. But as of right now, critical point in time is, what is your end of year planning with your investments and your tax strategy? Anything else you want to add, Krista?
Just that, Justin and I do all of this on a personal level as well. We're not just telling our clients to do this. These are things that we do on a personal level that have really made a difference for our portfolios. So just keep that in mind, that we're in it with you. We're doing these steps with you. And, that's what I think makes us a little bit different, is we are right there with you, just going through it as well, step by step. So
absolutely. So with that said, happy holidays to y'all. Stay safe out there, especially those that are in snowy regions or severe weather regions. There's a lot going on right now. Know that we're thinking of you guys, and we're excited to be chatting with you soon. Have a good one.